like you guys, I'm a huge fan of The Expanse on Syfy. So what say we fire up the Epstein drive and get to it? You guys want to do that? Let's fire it up, guys. The executive producer of The Expanse, Shankar, right there. He's the guy who loves nothing more than broadcasting typing messages of himself all across the galaxy as James Holden. Ladies and gentlemen, Strait's about to walk up on stage. She plays Derossi's super badass EXO, Naomi Nagata, Dominique Tipper, ladies and gentlemen. He's the equal parts fierce and fiercely loyal Amos Burton. Put your hands together for Wes Chatham. She is everyone's favorite foul-mouthed politician, Avasarala, Shohreh Aghdashloo. The pilot who feels the need for speed is Cas Anvar, everyone. Let me give you one piece of advice. Do not mess with her when she gets her Martian power armor suit on. It's Bobby Draper herself, Frankie Adams. Certainly not the executive producer of The Expanse, Mr. Mark Fergus. All right, welcome guys. Nice to have you. Frankie, you made it this year.
Yeah.
You did the Rossi last year. Yeah. All right, let's jump right into it. I want to start right where season 2 ended. Because Stephen and Dominique, huge bombshell.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Huge bombshell.
Yeah, it's gonna go great.
Drops. She gave the proto-molecule sample to Fred Johnson. What does this mean for Holden and Naomi's relationship in season 3? And is there trouble in proto-molecule paradise?
Oh, I think he's going to react great, don't you? He's a very stable man, you know.
Well, we've just started filming season 3. Yeah. We're like half an episode in, and so far it's not going so great. So
the filming is going fine.
The filming is
going great,
yeah.
but Holden and Naomi not so much. So that's how it's going so far.
And the trust on the Rossi took a big hit, you know. So it's kind of like all the relationships are adjusting on the screen. We're all kind of a tight family, and we each have our own individual way of relating to what's happened. So yeah, all the new dynamics are really kind of fleshing themselves out. Yeah, because not only was I thinking, what does this mean for these two, but I actually was thinking about Wes, what this means for Amos. Because he is so loyal to Naomi. He's so like, she decked him.
Anymore.
He apologized to her. He apologized to her for decking him, which I still don't quite
She stabbed me in the heart with the horse tranquilizer.
But I saved.
And I still forgave her.
Hey, I saved 52 people, okay?
So what is he feeling about this?
I think Amos is I think he's done at this point. I think he has been. I think that he hasn't really experienced. I mean, he never expected that Naomi could do something like this, and it's really rocked his foundation. It's really shaking him up. So.
He's like
not the same.
He's a black and white guy, right? Like
right.
He's like, this is the code.
Yeah.
You would hear the code. There's no like gray area.
Yeah, and I don't think he ever expected Naomi to violate that code. And
I feel like he's just like stabbing me and dabbing me.
you stabbed me. You stabbed me, and then you gave the proto molecule to Fred Johnson. I'm still not over it.
It should be like Who Killed Kenny, just every episode.
And then
I get shot almost every episode.
So. Let's talk to the Martians in the room for a second.
the discipline.
Yes.
Oh, we got some Martian fans out there.
Alex and Bobby aren't just from Mars. They're like former Martian military. So what does that mean for them internally? how are they going to feel if and when they have to line up against Mars? Is this something they're going to struggle with? We'll start with you, Cas.
Oh, yeah. If push comes to shove and we're going up against Mars, that's definitely going to be something that Alex is going to have something to say about. That's for sure. I mean, all the way through season 1 and season 2, he's always quite convinced that Mars has everyone's best intentions in mind. Actually, season 3 is going to be kind of interesting because I think.
Don't say too much.
I think Alex is at a point now where he's going to get to see a little bit more of reality. I think he has a bit of a very naive perspective on things. He's grown up with a certain perspective, and now he's actually getting to see the real world. I don't think he was expecting what Naomi did, but the most important thing for Alex is keeping his family together.
Just kill me.
It's like, damn it, why can't these kids just play nice? I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna rock his world too, for sure. It's not gonna be the same as what happened to Amos, but it's definitely gonna shake his world.
What about for Bobby? Because, I mean, she was just so Martian pride, and now she's on the other side.
I don't know if you noticed, Dalton, but she kind of ditched them last season.
Yep.
So, I don't know, I think it's always a complex for her, that relationship with Mars, and it will always be a struggle. But at the moment, she's a bit of a nomad, so. I mean, actually, she's hanging out with Avasarala, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk some Avasarala. You guys want to talk some Avasarala? She is such a brilliant politician with just such a filthy, filthy mouth. I should have brought a bar of soap out here on the panel, I think. Shohreh, how much time do you spend considering just the right way to spew out those words?
Well, you can always find the right way to say those words, but not today. Please be aware that many members of your audience
I'm glad I saw that. I would have brought myself twice.
You're in the wrong panel. You are in the wrong room.
Yeah, I almost threw some F-bombs. I'm trying to help you guys.
They're mature kids. They can handle it. They'll be okay.
If they watch the Expanse.
If they watch the Expanse, they
Is that true to life? Do you let some F-bombs fly on set ever?
Oh my god.
I saw some F-bombs last night. I'm not gonna bring up old stories, but you don't want to cross her in real life either.
He's like, oh, there's Avasarala.
Yeah, there's Avasarala.
Don't make me say it.
She is all grace and delicate preciousness.
It's just method acting. She has to do that.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
I
Who's the
started
big?
with these guys before we start shooting. I started with them.
You're welcome.
Right, just cussing us out.
Noreen, the show looks so incredible. I'm always so impressed what you can do and make it look so cinematic for a television show. What is sort of technically the most difficult thing you've had to do in terms of, the CG stuff? The one thing that sort of kept you up at night, like, how am I going to make this work? How am I going to make this look?
Oh boy, that's a big question. A lot of times we do things that are kind of compound effects, like we do wire work in virtual environment and physical stunts and Bobby in her suit, and it's like when you start adding all those things up together, filming gets very complicated. But we seem to pull it off quite a bit, and it's really impressive.
Mark, we looked like maybe near the end of last season, we're possibly going to have maybe like a diplomatic resolution between Earth and Mars, and then like Aaron Wright goes all like rogue poison assassin on us. What will the fallout be from that in season 3?
It pretty much sums up what we kind of felt like season 1 was that, you didn't know what the sides were. Last season was pick a side, and everybody's picked a side now. Season 3 is war. It's fighting. It's paying off all the conflicts we started off. So, Aaron Wright, everybody calls him the villain. I still think he's so, we all kind of get him. He thinks he's Winston Churchill. He thinks he's saving Earth from it's one of those things where when he goes rogue at the end, we want it to kind of feel like here's a guy who's at the end of his rope. He's beaten, he's vanquished, he's gonna, confess and be a better man. And then he takes his shot and he grabs the game back. So, this is, you're gonna see a huge repercussion for that. Because we've been talking about war for a couple of years now, and now it's time to have a war.
Stephen, Holden last season went really to the brink of going, I think, called almost full Miller. Like he had that moment where he went to that sort of edge, and then sort of brought him back, sort of, by the end. But now he's getting all this new information from Naomi, which is absolutely no good. Sorry, Dominique, I'm not trying to I'm really not. But so where's his head at as far as everything?
Towards the end of the season, he was really so consumed by what happened on Arrows. He's consumed by fear. And, he had this myopic kind of mission to stamp this thing out. And the only thing that could pull him back was the love of this crew. They were, in danger, and he's like, forget this thing that I've been so obsessed with. I'm going after the people I love, to only then get the news that he's been betrayed so badly. Holden's going through it a little bit. He's picking up the pieces. I think there's in doing the research for him last year, I did a lot of research on post-traumatic stress disorder, and there's this concept about post-traumatic growth that comes after that, and I think that's the stage where he's in now. It's like he's picking up the pieces and finding his feet, and focusing more on good that he can do in tangible ways that are in front of him, as opposed to this kind of overarching philosophy of saving, the entirety of the human race. He's looking at tangible results that he can do, and I think he actually got a lot of that from her. Saving the people you can, and doing the right thing. Right, before the betrayal. Yes. Shades of gray, it's all shades of gray.
But I think what I love about the show, and the whole question, and I'm just kind of thinking about it now, and we've touched on a lot of these things, everything is sort of a question of at what cost. Right. And it goes back to Avasarala in the very first episode when she's sort of torturing the guy. It goes to the question of what Aaron Wright's doing. You look at Miller, you look at what Dominique, what you guys did with the proto-molecule sample. It's really that every character asks himself constantly, what's the cost?
Right. As it's like the intentions, I think, behind everybody. There's no real villains here, really. Everyone kind of thinks they're doing the right thing for the side that they feel, should be, coming out on top, or for themselves or the people they love. And, those shades of gray, those different perspectives, it's an incredible thing to be able to portray that from
the proto-molecule can be kind of considered a villain.
Man, he's just hungry. He's just hungry, dude.
Did you see it when it was burned up in the dry? I'm sorry for it.
He just wants a little radiation, man. Don't hate on him.
It was in the fetal position.
What Ty and Daniel always talk about is the proto-molecule. It's funny you say it's the villain. Is that they describe it as the rock that everybody breaks themselves upon. And it's like it does what it does, it wants what it wants, and the problems occur when people misunderstand or put onto the proto-molecule the things that they want. And it causes mayhem because they can't figure it out, and it keeps changing. And that's a big element in the show as it goes forward. It's always changing. It never quite does the things you think it's going to do.
So is Venus a villain, Marie? Is Venus a villain?
Venus is not a villain. Venus just is. It's just there. Something's happening on there, but it's just,
Human pride is the villain.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
You thought that up, he's so proud of himself.
I actually thought up last night in my preparation, and I couldn't wait to share with you guys.
Just drop the mic and go out on top. It's like, okay, I'm done.
Panel over. Dominique, you and Stephen had a very hot and steamy scene in the premiere.
Did we?
Remember back in season 2. How's getting on in space different from more planet-based interplay? How's the zero G come into effect there?
Well, there's some advantages and there's some disadvantages. I'm sure you can imagine what they are. But everything. We work through them as a team.
That's
I think you guys should reenact that scene.
Let's get 50 people in here.
Sorry guys.
Teamwork. We should do the real zero-G sex scene where people just are bumping into each other.
Yeah, it would be so unsexy, I think.
Your balls trying to make.
Well, I guess whether sex is better in space is open to debate, but there is a video that we have for you guys that we're going to show where it's a clip of other things.
Oh, we
that
burned that.
It's not that kind of clip.
Wait a minute.
It's family friendly, but here's some other things that are definitely better in space. Check out your video screens. Logging some long hours on the Rossi, but working on set of a TV show, you log some long hours on set. Who's pounding the most coffee on set? Shocker.
True to life. True to
This
life.
guy.
There's so much similar about our characters to our real life personas, you wouldn't believe it.
Well, hold on. What are you saying about me?
Create some space.
Man, I pound so much coffee, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. I think I had Holden meat, actually. Yeah.
I saw him with green tea the other day and I was shocked. Green tea, he never drinks those. It's all coffee.
Actually, we did do the Expanse escape room yesterday.
Has anyone done that?
You guys done that? Yeah, it's cool, right?
It's so much fun. How'd you guys do?
We did well, but you know, you talk about like our characters. Dominique turned into Naomi. She single-handedly got us out of the jam.
She bossed us all around. She really did.
Who was the dead weight?
The whole other team. Who are you looking at?
He was amazing
I was just back making lasagna. That's what I was doing. I was making food for you guys.
Yeah, he makes us look fun.
And you put your foot in it.
Put my foot in it.
I love the characters that's shown. Every great show ultimately always comes down to characters, and we can talk about the science, and we will talk about the science, but if the characters don't work, nothing's going to work. And I think like from episode to episode, it's like, oh, my favorite character constantly changes. I wondered if you all ever get a bit jealous when you see what some of your castmates are doing. And to that end, I want to ask each of you, who's the character you sometimes secretly wish you could play, and why? And Frankie, we'll start with you and come back this way.
Definitely Diogo. He's hilarious. I think he's really funny, and I like that. I think I'm pretty hilarious myself. So.
I love extremes. I mean, Alex, obviously, I love him, and he'd probably be the one I'd choose if I had my choice. But if I'm going to play something else, I'd probably want to play the antithesis of him, and I would totally enjoy doing the Errand.
Oh,
Okay.
I love his journey. I love his arc. I love the fact that we don't know what the hell he's all about in season 1. He looks just innocent as a lamb. And then season 2 comes by and it's like, where did that viper come from? And I just love that complete camouflage.
nice. Shohreh?
Well, I would love to play Senator Gillis, the head of the United Nations. If I'm a politician, I'd rather be a decision maker and have a key position. Therefore, when it comes to these chaotic scenes, I can take care of my enemies right away.
Who wants to run the world? That's what she said.
I was kind of jealous of the proto-molecule monster, I think. I think he had a really good arc last season. And I think it's something that I would really love to do, to scream and howl and throw things at it. And so yeah, I'm a pro-monument.
I think you just don't want to have that spacesuit on anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's how I feel with the spacesuit on.
I love action, so sometimes I watch Frankie's stuff and I'm a bit like, oh, I want some power armor. I actually asked Lorraine if I could wear the Martian spacesuit, and he was like, no. I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, sometimes I get a little bit jealous of Frankie's action scenes.
I think it would be Joe Miller. I would totally play Joe Miller. And Thomas Jane, missing me, he was awesome. And last season I got to, Holden and Miller, their personalities kind of melded a little bit, so I got to go there a little bit. But yeah, Joe Miller, it's like one of a kind.
I thought you said you were going to play the hat.
All right, only the hat. I'm just playing Fedora. Like his face.
Noreen and Mark, we're currently in the middle. We left us into of Caliban's War, which is the second book in the series. My personal favorite. I don't know if we have any Caliban's War fans out there. It's just my personal favorite. Love them all. That one, Noreen and Mark, I'm curious if you all have a favorite book in the series. And don't say they're all great, because we know they're all great. But if, of all of them, is there one that you specifically really just a cut above that you really love?
There are books.
Wait a minute.
I've actually only read through the third book, and part of the reason is we're adapting the show by pulling in the novellas as well as working with the material that's there, and Ty and Daniel are in the room kind of guiding us. So it kind of keeps me a little closer to the story, because if you get too far ahead of it, sometimes you can lose track. I loved Leviathan Wakes of the first three. I
agree with that. Well, Leviathan was the reason we fell in love with the whole series, but and also Joe Miller's character. That's the guy. The screw up that a guy like me can just say, I get this guy. I know this journey. I can follow this guy. So. He was sort of the candy that got you into the whole world, and so I would say Leviathan was the big one, and also the novella The Churn, which is a little character study on Amos Burton, is also a gorgeous piece of writing that the guys have done, and like I said, we're trying to always pull as many of the guys created this just complete universe, and we're trying to make it feel like one. Since we can do that in the show, we can grab the novellas and weave them in. So those two are my favorite.
Nice. All right. Well, is that? I'm hearing voices. Okay, it's a proto-molecule type, or maybe someone else that's talking to me. Like I said, we got to talk. Inside joke. All right. So the real fans. All right. So look, it's I watch the show and I'm I'm always watching the science, because as you guys know, they take the science very seriously on this show. And so I'm trying to figure out, is this based in real science, or is this more, from their imagination? All right, we got a little video. We're gonna get to play a little game here. It's basically science fact or science fiction. So you're gonna see different things come up. There's 4 of them. As soon as it comes on the screen, you got to figure out, is this based on science fact or is it based on fiction? And just yell it out. And I want to see how many get all 4 right. And you only have a few seconds for each. As soon as you see the words come on the screen, just yell out fact or yell out fiction. We'll see how we do. You guys can play too.
Yeah.
Not you, Noreen, not you, Mark. You got insider trading info. You guys are out. But the rest of you can play on. Let's check out the video screens. Yell out fact or fiction for each one.
science advisor on the show.
Thank you so much,
At all
Wes.
hours of the night, they call me too. It's a little known fact. I don't know. I don't like to brag about it.
It's very awesome.
Social media today.
I want to see a show of hands in the audience. You got all 4 right. All right, Narrator Mark, there's your writing staff for season 4. You guys are in the writer's room now. Congratulations. Well, guys, reminder, if you guys are tweeting out or doing anything, you can use hashtag the Expanse or hashtag SDCC. But you knew that. That's the show and that's the convention. So there you go. We're all on the same page there. Narrate, it's always fun for the cast and the producers to connect with the audience and all get in the same room. You guys are in Toronto doing your thing and everyone's coming from everywhere in the world, all to come together. It's awesome. What's even more awesome is when you can actually break a little news and maybe give people some information where they can be the first people anywhere to hear it.
Yes.
Cool, right? So, to that end, by chance, any casting for season 3 that we can talk about?
By interesting coincidence, yes, we have 2 wonderful actors that we're adding to the cast this year, Elizabeth Mitchell and Davey Strathairn. They're both going to be joining us. I don't want to tell you exactly who they're going to be playing because I don't want to, it may give away sort of how we're going to be plotting out the books and how they're working in the show this season, but they're awesome. Elizabeth's actually in Toronto right now, and David's going to be joining us shortly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, wait.
Elizabeth Mitchell and David, that's great.
Yeah.
Very cool. Guys, I know that you guys have come a long way, and I am hogging up all the time here, and I know you guys would love to ask some questions of the cast and the producers for The Expanse. This is your chance. We have a microphone right over here. So you can go get in line right now. I advise you to get in line.
Right,
Even if you don't have your question yet, but you know you want to ask something.
Oh, this bunch
Dude, I
of
love the outfit, guys.
Very good. Look at that. Nice, coming to play. So if you have any questions you want to ask the cast, go get in line right over here. And you can tell us your name and then ask your question. Go ahead, sir.
Name's Nick and Catherine, Dennis.
Hi.
We're big fans.
You guys
so,
look great.
Thanks. My question is, all of your characters are very strong, powerful characters in their own right, and they take a lot of powerful moves. So I wanted to know, as actors and as your characters, what has been your most intimidated moment on set or on screen?
Intimidated moment.
Torturing people. Torture.
Mine was the 52 scene where in season 2 where I had to choose people to come on the ship on the somnambulist, and I got held by my throat off the wall by that big guy. That was quite harsh. That was really harsh to film, the whole thing actually. And yeah, that was my most intimidating moment.
I think towards the end of last season, where Holden really kind of slips into this psychology that's really kind of ugly. There's a whole period there that was kind of difficult for me because it was so it was a rough place to be for him, and I love that character. And it's just hard to watch him kind of go there, but towards the end of season 2, I think.
I think mine was, it was episode 1 of season 2, where I had to repair, was it oxygen ring? When I went to and I was hanging upside down, and we were shooting in the studio called Jumbo, and it lives up to its name. It's huge, and the ceiling it's like as tall as the Empire State Building. Not really, but I like to tell the story. So I had to go up to the rafters, and they built the 2 holes standing on end, and they lowered me in a wire, and I was upside down in between the 2 holes. And Breck was our director. Breck Eisner was the director at the time, and he's very detail oriented. So they raised me up to the top of Jumbo, the Empire State Building. And I'm upside down and have all the space gear on and on my helmet. And when I was up there, they got really consumed with the detail, and they forgot about me. I was so high up in the rafters, waiting to get dropped down between these holes, and I felt the blood rushing to my head. And luckily they remembered me before I passed out. And yeah, so it turned out to be
The Expanse, ladies and gentlemen.
It explains everything.
For me, it was in season 1 because I actually really enjoyed the arc that Alex has been going on, kind of discovering his own, and he's always been kind of a laid-back guy. But when we were in episode 4, the CQB episode, where we were basically locked in that room, and that was a really, really complicated shoot day where we had in one scene. This is the scene where we lose shit, and we had to do wire work. We had to do CGI, we had to do hypoxia, oxygen loss, we had to do repair work, and Alex kind of loses his shit in that scene. And
kids, we just...
Oh, he loses his shaving cream in that scene. He loses it. And right before we do that part where we just see Shed has been injured, and they're going to do this thing, and just before action, the CGI guy, the special effects guy comes up because they had a little balloon built there with the blood in it. It has a little explosive in it, and I'm basically seeing this thing for the first time, and he comes up, cameras are rolling, he goes, oh, by the way, don't look right at the blood because there's an explosive in it, it might go in your eye. And we got to go up and down and past things in CGI, and I'm looking at the blood and I'm seeing, okay, they're getting, I got to look away just for blood. That was a challenging scene.
This is a lot.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Shed.
probably everything that Bobby does is. Beating out Outerbridge, who played Martins? Yeah. Well, great memory. That was scary because he didn't have a stunty, and I was actually going at it, and I just didn't want to hurt him. I did it. I mean, I did. Oopsies.
Lovely. Yes, sir, what's your name and your question?
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Ben. That was a hard act to follow, by the way. I think you guys hit the nail on the head about taking the science seriously, and I wanted to ask anybody on the panel, what were some of your geek out moments when trying to bring this series to life?
I'll probably answer that. Actually, the scene that Cas was just describing in CQB, it was one of my favorites from Leviathan Waste because it had so many elements, and it was moving around in zero gravity. It was a decapitation from a rail gun that goes right through the cabin instantaneously, and then the blood forms kind of the shape of a head above the body because it's still pumping out. The whole thing is just crazy. And I just really wanted to recapture that and put it on film because it was kind of awesome.
I would go with the flip and burn because we always talked about could we make a braking maneuver really sexy, and interesting on screen, and it really was nothing more than a ship slowing down. And people think it's one of the cool, and I agree. I think it's super cool.
It's very sexy.
And but slowing down can kill you. It can rip your body apart. The chairs, the drugs, the whole bit, and that kind of stuff. When we read the books, we're like, this is why this story feels different because all the shitty, grungy details of space travel, it makes it feel like a frontier again. It's dangerous. It's not cool. It wants to kill you. It's like an ocean, and it's nasty. And those little details really accentuated the idea that even transporting ice across the solar system could get you killed. So I still think that's the coolest
We always like to say that space is a character in the Expanse, and we try to make sure that that's the point of it, is that when we show the physics, when we show the braking maneuvers that can kill you, that actually brings to life the hostility of the environment, and that really does inform a lot of the storytelling that we do.
Yeah.
Nice. Well played. Thanks. Good question.
I just wanted to point out one thing on that. We did a panel at Caltech last year. We were invited, my sister-in-law actually organized it, and we did a panel called The Science of the Expanse, and they graded us A+ on science.
Keeping it real, definitely. Hey, yes, ma'am, your name and your question.
Hello, my name is Kat, and you lived in the world of the Expanse, would you be an Earther, a Martian, or a Beltaroda?
We've had this question a few times today.
Yeah.
I like your tats, by the way.
Thank you.
Or
She's a belter.
Yeah. I think if I could choose, I would be a very rich earther, but in all likelihood, I would be a belter, for sure. That's where I'd end up.
One of the things that I learned working on The Expanse is, well, I mean, I knew this before, but what it really hammered home was how hard life is in space and the struggles that it takes every day just to survive. So I'm an earther all day. Don't want no part of the space.
Holden's Ranch in Montana.
That's where I want to go.
Yeah, space sucks, man.
We're going to the ranch.
Holden's Ranch.
Definitely an earther. In this life, another life, Expanse, definitely an earther. The fountainhead of all cultures, of course.
Thank you, brother. I'm a huge fan, big surprise, of the Martian philosophy. I believe, I honestly, genuinely am fascinated with this idea of an entire culture focused on one goal. And the fact that you're laughing at me now.
Rain, sorry, Karen. I'm
I'm
sorry.
betraying you?
You're going to Mars.
I'm not betraying you. It's not betrayal.
What's
It's,
wrong?
why can't we,
He's getting upset.
How can't we just love each other? Why can't we all be just one big, but no, but they're all focused on how, look at Earth though. Earth is overpopulated and has 70% unemployment. Mars has a vision.
You seem like you've passed slightly,
There's a
but...
job opportunity.
And it's united, and it's got all the most intelligent and brilliant people on the planet to kind of get to that point.
This is a show in a nutshell right here.
Why don't we ask the Martians? Why don't we ask the Martians?
Why don't we ask?
Well, I feel bad because I should say Mars, right? But I've been
Don't you
so
do it.
spoiled on Earth.
There's
You know what? I'm going to say the belt because I want some tattoos.
Well done. All right, thank you very much. Yes, what's your name and your question?
And I love your show. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to say, what is your favorite funny one-liner that you've said?
Plant guy. Don't talk down to me, plant guy.
I'd do her. Naomi's like a sister, I'd do her.
I'm sorry, does anyone need a back rub first?
Shohreh, you have one?
Yes, obviously.
And one that you can say in this room?
This one,
Oh, I'm sorry.
This one I can. When the Martian asked me, Madam, excuse me, where are you going with this question? And I say, wherever I goddamn lie.
Frankie, do you have one?
I don't use sex as a weapon, I use weapons as weapons.
Aren't the women on this show badass? All the best in badass women.
By the way,
It's how it is in real life.
we really owe this to our amazing writers and the novelists.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
When it comes to Cas's favorite line, I can probably guess what it is. How do you want to? We handled this in New York one
You know
way.
what?
How do you want to handle it this way?
Okay, so you think you know? Okay, anyone here think they know what my favorite line is? Okay, how about we do a little test? All right, I'm gonna do a fill in the blank. All right, so and you guys are gonna fill in the blank. Okay, so ubiquitous, mendacious, polyglottal, with a couple of.
Did we say that?
That was really lame. With a couple of.
All right.
I think I was more enthusiastic about it than everyone else. Awkward.
They're like Donkey Balls is so season 1.
Thanks for the question. Appreciate it. Hey, tell us your name.
Oh, that's great.
Yes,
Oh, dude.
Hey, I saw you yesterday
Yes, you
at the
did.
Adam Savage panel. That's the file cabin armor on it right there. Turn the file cabin into that. It's impressive.
What are your favorite props?
What do you favorite props?
Automatic shotgun.
Cucumber sandwiches? Cucumber sandwiches?
I don't know. Maria's going to kill me. Maria is out on set key for props, but I'm not sure I have one.
It's about the syringe.
God, I wish we had that here right now. Wes would be under the table.
Actually, it probably is.
By the way, I will say, if you go over to the Expanse escape room, they have a lot of the props there, including the power armor suit, Miller's hat. It's all a few blocks from here. You can go see it yourself, so go check it out. Very, very cool.
Don't play with Naomi though.
No, I don't want to mess with that. No.
Hey, what's your name and your question?
My name's Danny. You guys are all great. The show's wonderful.
I love your shirt. I love your shirt.
Thank you very much. I'll do Expanse next time.
We'll let you off this time.
Thank you. I felt a bit bad for Epstein. He seemed to be flying out there.
Yeah.
So maybe we could do a flashback and get some resolution.
Great
question.
Flashing back to, by the way, props for the shirt. That was from the very first episode of Star Trek I ever wrote.
Wow.
It's a beautiful sort of, it's actually a short story, I mean, Drive, and it's kind of a one-off, but he's still out there, and Ty and Daniel always say, like, that's kind of the thing in the world of the Expanse, is that people have, like, found Epstein's, little ship flying because it wouldn't stop. I mean, it would just keep going. It's out of fuel, and I'm hoping one day we'll be able to, like, train a telescope on it and have somebody look at that little ship. It's just kind of like the Flying Dutchman just flying out into nowhere forever with the poor skeletonized man and the
Still going. Hey, what's your name and your question?
Hi, I'm Jimmy.
Hi.
Hey, Jimmy.
Great outfit.
Thank you.
Yes.
My question is for Neri. Expanse does a very good job of portraying people of different ethnicities on camera, like down to you guys, down to like the background characters. Like it's Earth where like all the cultural barriers are broken down, and this is normal for people to have like names of different other cultures.
Yes.
So, how much of that factors into like production when you do casting and all that?
Quite a bit. Ty and Daniel always talk about, the people who go into space in the world of the Expanse. It's not just, white, Caucasian, Nebraska corn-fed types. It's Chinese, Indian, Russian, everybody. It's just it's a mix and a melding of all those different cultures. Texans, Indian Texans, and so, one of the great things about being in Toronto is the city is very multi-ethnic, and there's a tremendous number of really interesting mixes of ethnicities, and I think that helps us when we cast, because we're always keeping that in mind.
Yeah, and I'll follow up on that. What's so cool about it is that it is so diverse, yet it's not a plot point. It just is, which I think is very cool. Very cool. Hi there, what's your name and your question?
Hey guys!
Hello!
Hey! How's it going? So first I just want to say, love your all show. My friend and I actually abandoned Hall H to come to you.
Wow!
So my question for you all is, if and how did the costumes on the show impact your character choices?
Oh my god.
A lot. With my
let's start with Shohreh on that one.
My stories, it takes almost an hour to put them all together, and it does not allow me to do exactly what I want, so I have to sort of act accordingly.
I'm curious with Frankie, what's it like when you put the power armor on?
Just tell them how
A little sweaty?
Okay, so it's like almost 60 pounds.
60 pounds.
And it's the hardest thing about the suit is making it look like the suit is doing everything. And also just making it look like I'm not dying on the inside. That's the most challenging thing. But, you know, it looks cool, so I hate to say bad things about it.
And you run in it like you're barefoot, my God.
Yeah, sprinting in the all that.
I have 3-inch yaw lifts in my boots, so that I'm basically walking around in a wedge all day. But it does help me feel taller, which belters are, and how I carry myself and how I stay quite pulled up and straight as a belter would. So that definitely helps me for sure.
Clothing is always huge. Anytime.
Do you struggle with
it is a big informant into what I'm doing with my clothes. So
For sure. I think the utilitarian element of like the jumpsuits and stuff like that, I mean, it really, you put those clothes on and you feel like you're in the right space, you know what I mean? Like the camp was like an oil tanker. I mean, like it was a rough place to be. It was a very utilitarian place, and you know, space is really hard, and there's nothing fancy about it at all. So when you put the clothes on, just it gets you into the right frame of mind.
It goes beyond even the clothes. I mean, we're really fortunate because the production team has built an amazing set for us kids to play in. Like literally, we got 80,000 square foot of set and props and decor. Like the space suits, and then sitting in the Rossi chairs, those things, and then now when we're shaking and like the reality of what we have to deal with really helps inform what we're doing. Sometimes like like when I was doing the hypoxia scene and I was running out of air, that wasn't really hard to play act.
We have time for one more. Thank you. Nice
Thanks,
question.
y'all.
Thank you.
Time for one more quick question from Emperor Palpatine. So, really well done.
This is some of what I've done at the end of season 2.
Only one has betrayed us. Only one has betrayed us.
Should we say it in unison? Rossi crew?
Naomi.
She get the space.
Perfect way to end this panel. Perfect way.